She picked up 2 yellows in that Seattle loss the other night. That will hurt them. Coleman, though, will keep this defense organized. You can bet on that. Midfielder Christy Mewis leads this team with 5 goals, always dangerous. And up top, Boston will go with Steph McCaffrey having a super rookie season, and Katie Schepfer, who, although she hasn't scored yet this season, is always a threat. And shots along with Janine Sparrow were just a few seconds away from kickoff. Paul Riley, Janine talks about hot starts, but he doesn't want to put too much of an onus on that, but just really wants to control tempo.
Yes, he doesn't want to, he tried to not talk about, getting that first goal and doing the things like setting up goals that couldn't be attained, or if they weren't attained, they had to question what they were going to do next. So it's just a chance of attacking. The whole idea is just to attack, to keep on it, to keep working. So that push to the work ethic to really make sure that they're trying to reach everything that they want to do, and the rest will happen.
What do you think of his decision to start Michelle Betos in goal over Nadine Angerer?
She's done great all season. She's been here the whole time. She's been solid for the team. She's backed them up. The team knows her. They're both great keepers. Nadine's a complete professional. She understands. The thing, too, is they have really tight games close together. So the nice thing about having 2 solid keepers, having a solid team, solid players, you can rest people like Angerer, you can rest people like Van Halbeck. You can do that and still not give too much away, but have people down the stretch to help you out.
These teams have met already twice this season. Portland defeating Boston 4-1 in the season and home opener. And then in Boston, shortly thereafter, it was Christy Mewis with the goal in stoppage time that gave Boston the dramatic 1-0 victory over Boston, and giving the Portland Thorns their first defeat of the season. Thorns in their home kits, red from head to toe. Boston, blue shorts, white shirts, white socks, and we are underway. The Portland Thorns and Boston Breakers, presented by West Hills Vision Care. Turnover early, and Sinclair leaves it for Wong. Allie wanted the handball, and it's play on. Thorns beginning this first half heading towards the Mac Club. The Boston Breakers obviously will be heading towards the Riveters. Portland at 4-6-4 in 7th place, but still very much in playoff contention. The Breakers coming in at 3-9-3, winless on the road. Portland, and that victory against Western New York the other night, picking up its first road victory of the season. They're tough to come by.
They did. They picked it up at the right time.
Yes.
And like we said before, those points are critical, and they have them. So it's nice to go into tonight's game with that little bit of an edge that you have from the previous game.
This game, the only one on the NWSL slate. There'll be a lot of scoreboard watching from here on in, as the 3rd year of this league starts to hit the stretch run in a big, big way. Zerboni cuts it back nicely. Nice touch to Allie. Come the Breakers on the counter. Portland's defense disruptive. Sink a little hard on that touch.
Interesting to see what Boston's doing with their players. They're kind of moving players around, with Maddie Evans playing a little bit higher up the field and outside. They do a really good job of interchanging and kind of getting into the play and working off of each other. So, which is a really nice system for them. And we'll see how the Thorns are able to handle that.
So no Rachel Catley. That hurts the Thorns, no doubt about it. Out with that right heel contusion. It flared up the other night. Taylor making a nice run, but that pass headed away, and here's Boston. And no Io for the Portland Thorns. Equatorial Guinea is in the process of trying to qualify for the upcoming 2016 Olympics. Io was with her native country in a huge victory just the other night. And not available tonight. Great pass here, Sink. One-on-one against Nair. Sink Snuffed by Nair, who comes off her line.
Makes it look a little too easy, doesn't she? That's a great ball in to Sink, finding her up top in the seam between the two defenders. Sink runs in well, but Nair is just an excellent keeper, so they're really going to have to be on top of their game in order to get something past her.
The reigning league goalkeeper of the year. Led the league last year in saves and goals allowed. I mean, she was just peppered the entire season and stood tall, rewarded with the slot on the U.S. national team.
You can see why with that ball.
Yep.
Christine Sinclair coming at her, and she comes out, not just comes up and stops Sink, but comes up with it in her hands. Like, hey, no problem, I got it right here.
And Sink loves the month of July. She had that hat trick against Boston last year, and obviously had the goal and the assist in huge fashion to lead Portland over Western New York in that game the other night.
Sink is back.
And Nair just kept this crowd quiet. The place would have just come unglued if Portland would have been able to put a ball behind her in the 5th minute of play. Gosh, she's tough though, isn't she?
Definitely. That was such a great first early ball for her. Beginning of the game, and like I said, came up with it and, you know, completely no problem.
Taylor will find Heath.
Nice little bit of dancing from Tobin Heath around the ball.
Portland doing a nice job of controlling tempo and keeping the ball in the offensive third. There's Kyle trying to win that 50-50 ball, but here comes Boston. Smart play by Farley, and now she's got a little room. Allie finding Zerboni, top of the 18. Oh, the cross nearly on target to Taylor, who made a nice run.
Zerboni's ball was inches away from getting through. I think if she had hit it just a little bit faster or harder, would have had a little bit more spin on it, been able to get past or around that center defender into Taylor, who was coming through.
So the first corner of the night belongs to the Thorns.
Close the gap between you.
Allie Long with the honors, as per usual.
Out, gap, out, gap.
Unfortunately, that ball is just a little bit behind Sinclair, and she can't quite back up fast enough to get something on it so that it can keep it down.
Paul Riley saying that minutes will be watched for Jody Taylor, who's playing for the first time for the Thorns since the World Cup, nursing that injury. Maybe a 45 to 60 minute stint, I can see that.
Yeah, there's always management issues with any team, but when you've got players that have gone on and played, not just played, but played internationally at this, you know, completely incredible level of the World Cup, you really have to take care of them to make sure that they're okay, not just for now, but I mean, they do have 6 games left, and the longevity of the player.
Hard foul there as Mewis goes down. Sister Stam is doing such a great job as a rookie for the Flash. Heath, marked by Lazo. Heath still maintains, despite the sliding tackle effort by Lauren. Rachel Wood just tries to clear. Heath very aggressive early on in this match.
That's excellent work from Tobin Heath, you know, especially early on, any time in the game, but especially early on, as she's getting around those defenders, trying to find the soft spots in them, and she's able to just, they've had the numbers back, and Woods was able to clear the ball, but that's great attacking by Tobin Heath.
Long with the beautiful ball to Sinclair. Another corner kick coming up for the Portland Thorns. Scoreless here at Providence Park in the 8th minute. 78 degrees, give or take. Winds out of the north-northwest at about 8-9 miles an hour. An absolute perfect day, perfect evening for soccer.
Yeah, I think the Thorns are taking advantage too. I mean, it's nice that within 7 minutes, it's at least the 3rd series that they've been up in and around the box. So,
yep.
So they are attacking, they are pressing, they're trying to do what Paul Riley has asked them to do.
Farley tries to get a head on it, but Nair plucks it out of the air, using all of her 5'9" frame to do so. Great job by Kat to keep that ball in the offensive third. Zerboni knocks it off of Coleman.
It's one thing the Thorns are going to have to look at transition, with Alyssa Nair being able to throw that 40-yard ball out to McCaffrey, who's super dangerous. And in transition, if they're not careful, she can get through.
Excuse me for interrupting. Beautiful ball as Sinclair and Nair collide at the top of the 6, and Alyssa is still down.
I think she took a hard shoulder from Sinclair. That was a great one-handed punch. She just had to get something on it, and she just one-handed it just right out of danger.
Nair will be tested tonight. You love the tempo and pace of the Thorns, who are already starting to test the Breakers back line and midfield as well. Taylor, nice job to keep that ball on the foot of Sinclair.
You're right, Ann. This game so far does have a really nice pace to it. You know, they've come out and both these teams are trying to play. And the nice thing for the Thorns is they have a little bit more of the attacking side to it, have had the ball a little bit more as well.
That play won't show up in the score sheet, but Zerboni going all out for that loose ball, that ball that was heading out of bounds, keeps it alive, and then a handball favors the Thorns. Nice job, nice hustle by McCall.
Nothing less from her. She never gives anything less than 100%, and that's again one of the plays that you know you're going to get from her consistently. You've seen it throughout the entire season.
Zerboni, in her first year with the Portland Thorns, acquired from New York in that trade for Amber Brooks.
She's been a great addition to the Thorns. She really has solidified that midfield and given them that kind of strength and a little bit of bite. Everybody kind of needs an enforcer, I guess, if you want to go with the hockey term. But she does a great job in there and gives them that backbone.
Little flick header. I like the idea. That was a nifty ball from Heath. Boston will try and get things organized and going, and Barzak will back things up. Boston coming off that heartbreaking loss to Seattle, 2-1. A penalty kick was the difference there. The road has not been kind to this Breaker bunch, but as Nadine told you, as the foul will go against Farley, this is a Breaker team that does not get blown out, that is in almost every single match. They've had some heartbreaking setbacks, but a very tough team. They're a little banged up too, no doubt about it.
No, this part of the season, most people are, and then they've had the extra, hard work with having players gone, coming back, and then trying to, keep the team solid and make it through that time without him.
How much does it hurt Boston not having Simon in the lineup, Kaya Simon? We'll get back to that in a second. Here's Taylor, little slot. Allie trying to control. All right, back to Kaya Simon, signed with the club after the World Cup. Did a great job with Australia, and she's nursing that hamstring, is available but not starting tonight.
Yeah, she's just acquired on June 15th, so it's kind of a late add. They've gotten her, got her out into the team, but she's going to need that time to transition and make sure that, again, she as well is healthy and ready to go, and then that she's being taken care of.
Rafina also on the shelf, not playing for the Boston Breakers with that right ankle sprain. And Bia with the right Achilles strain. She's available to play, but not starting either. Some firepower on the bench.
It's always a tough time of year, and like I said, with the World Cup and people coming back from major competition, the top competition, that's a really tough thing to overcome and to take care of.
You like the idea of the combo play between Sink and Heath. Just a bit off. There's the hustle play by Menges to keep it alive. Sinclair loses it. Nicely done by Boston. Farley calmly dancing around, and she'll find Allie Long.
Crowd appreciated that little move.
I did too. Zerboni. Beautiful job by Taylor, diving as that ball was deflected. And Nair, Taylor with the dummy and then gets it back and rips a shot.
There's some really great ball movement by the Thorns. You know, a little bit of an interchange passing. Taylor steps over the ball, gets laid off again. Just about 22 to 23 yards out, so a little bit tough for her to try to, with the run of play, get a really good hard strike on. And again, it's going to have to be good if you want to beat Nair.
This is as active as we've seen the Portland offense here at home in a while.
It's true, and you were going to expect it out of these players, and the nice thing is that they're here and they're delivering too. I mean, this is what, you know, we talked about it in the beginning, the magic, what they needed, what they have. Like, you know, these are the clubs you're pulling out of your bag and you're ready to go forward with it.
So again, the Thorns with 16 points going into tonight's match, but only 4 points behind, let's see, 4 points behind the Houston Dash for that 4th and final spot. I mean, it's a log jab for that 4th and final spot.
It is. It's still tight enough. You know, there's still enough teams that are really close within, you know, like you said, 4 points of each other to that last spot, that anybody can get in and that every game counts.
The Dash with 20 points. Kansas City in 5th at 19. The Flash right behind at 18, and then the Thorns at 16. 3 points tonight for Portland. Really makes things interesting with Chicago coming to town on Sunday. Little back heel, clever. Here's Heath. Farley.
Such a great little creative play from Sink to kind of just put the outside of her foot. That's what she could get on it, and she did it. It's kind of nice that she can control with any part of her foot. Not a problem, you know, she can do it. I wish Heath would have taken the first touch to goal and gone forward. And that's one of the problems that forwards or attacking players have. They don't have that initial step forward, and once they don't do that, it closes down. So she had to come back around and play off with Taylor, which is nice, but it allows the defense a little time.
Got it. Quick throw in. Sink wants to leave it. Zerboni looking to pull the trigger with the left. Drops it off. Heath. Jody. Bottled up. Oh! And the goal is scored! How about Jody Taylor? Welcome back!
Welcome back, Jody Taylor. We missed you. That's a great ball. And just as I was talking about not looking at the goal, I thought Taylor wasn't going to see it or turned up, and she started to look somewhere else first. The nice thing is that she thought about it, quickly looked to goal, found the spot. She realized she can get the ball around there with a little bit of a bend inside that post.
You'll see Allie Long, who was there to mop up, but she didn't need anything. What a strike by Taylor, her first goal in a Portland Thorns uniform. The Brit delivers the goods, and how about the 1-0 lead for the Thorns?
That is such a great little combination play. Again, that's the exciting thing that you've been wanting to see that they've had, but not quite as tight, as interchanging, as quick as they could have been, and that's it. That's a great example right there.
It's all about finishing in this game, ladies and gents, and Jody Taylor was brought to this club to do exactly that.
Well, now she's a forward. You know, if you don't score, you're just an attacking midfielder, right? So.
That was a brilliant shot, and Nair, you've got to be really, really good to beat her, and that in that upper right was perfectly struck.
She put a little bit of texture on it, just enough to get around her. She didn't just drive it, just turn and smack it. She really picked it. She saw the goal and said, this is the space I got to go and go around, and that ball bends right at the point the keeper's standing. So if you don't get a good couple steps on it, and she didn't get it another step that she needed, just gets in.
You had the feeling, the way Portland was commanding the attack early on, that it was just a matter of time. And Taylor gives them the lead. Here's Farley inside the 18. I like the idea.
It's nice that she took that touch forward too. Younger players, less experienced players hit that ball too early, but there was no one in front of Farley to kind of slow her down. Turned the corner, she tried to pick someone out to get it to him. I think she just mishit it a little bit because it ended up going more to the defender. But really, really good options. They're very calm on the ball. The Thorns are very calm, methodical, working it. They're trying to find each other and find the spaces where they can exploit those gaps between the Boston defenders.
You know, Riley really wants, oh, look at that ball. Here's Sinclair. Touch wasn't where she liked it, so she'll leave it for Heath. Inside the 18, Heath tries to cut back, and saving the day is Barzak. Beautiful passing by the Portland Thorns.
All right, passing is nice, but I want Sinclair to go to the goal on that one by herself. Just try it. Just try to soften those center backs up and see how you match up speed-wise.
Thought that touch got away from her for a second. I guess that's when Sink decided to cut it back, but here come the Thorns again. Sink with the tackle. She's still down.
Ref let him play. That's a good call to play advantage.
And Sink is up now, and here's Pokinghorn. Calmly leaves it for Zerboni. I was going to say that Riley is really asking Allie Long to play that 10 and to really service others and really get others involved. So far, she has done exactly that.
Yeah, she's staying in that place. Generally, she gets caught a little too high, or she comes and moves around to a spot that they really can't find her, but she's staying in that 10, that traditional playmaking midfielder role that you really wanted to see her in. So that's what she's been asked to do, and she's able to do that mostly, I think, because she has the players around her too with a little bit more support.
Coleman just sends it right back to Nair here in the 20th minute. Jody Taylor's goal in the 16th minute has given Portland the 1-0 lead. Taylor's first goal in a Thorns uniform. And boy, did it come at a great time. Nicely done by Kyle. Winning those balls. Zerboni doing it again. Farley knocks it off of Pathman.
I'm guessing she might have been looking for the Meg on that one.
So far, the Thorns have dominated play and really kept the ball in their offensive end of things. As that call goes against the Aussie, and it'll be Boston's ball. Neither one of these teams lighted up in terms of goals scored collectively. They each now, well, Portland with the 16 goals now, and Boston with one better at 17. The difference maker is Portland's defense has been so rock solid, one of the best defenses in this league.
They have the lowest scores against, but lowest score for. So they're even numbers, but on one side of the ball, it's, you know, you want to be a little bit higher in that goals for category.
The new guacamole burger or chicken sandwich at McDonald's, made with Haas avocados and served with freshly made pico de gallo and a slice of lime. Try it today paired with your choice of sizzling 100% beef or tender, delicious chicken at participating McDonald's. Long couldn't get the left foot as she goes down.
Kind of a tough ball to kind of reach back for and try to make something out when it takes that kind of bounce.
In game one, the season opener back on April 11th, Long had the brace. Mana Shim had a goal and 2 assists. Portland had the 2-0 lead at half, and it was a great way to start the season.
Yeah, I'll be looking for Mana Shim also, like as Paul Riley takes care of Jody Taylor a little bit. He said 45 to 60 minutes, and Shim will get the nod to go in for her when she's ready.
Boy, when you score though, you just don't feel as tired, do you? Well, how would you know? You're a keeper, but that's what I hear anyway.
Easy.
Easy.
I've overlapped a time or two.
Have you? Have you ever scored like Betos?
No, not quite like her, although I did get the assist off like a two bounce punt that a player of mine
That's pretty
finished,
cool.
So I was pretty happy with that. I don't think they credited me with it though. That get back in touch.
That's something you should correct.
Yeah, 25 years later.
Good communication there between Menges and Betos as McCaffrey had some action inside the 18.
That's nice for Betos to get a few touches on the ball. She hasn't really touched the ball before these last 2 series, and it's just nice that she has it. You know, it's not too challenging, but she's done a good job, and she hasn't been completely forgotten back there.
Boy, some aggressive play there. And Farley dancing around trouble. Nicely done by Sinead.
Really nicely done. That's some great footwork by her. She's been going to the Tobin Heath School, I think.
She and Pires have been a terrific matchup to entertain us all on this near sideline. Here's Allie. Tried to slot it through to Taylor. Kyle keeps it in the offensive third for Heath. McCaffrey will mark her.
Tobin Heath is so fun to watch. You can literally see her setting a defender up with that footwork. You can see her looking, you can see her trying to make that player move just a little bit.
Just a little, right?
She wants to go the other way, yeah.
24th minute, another great crowd on hand. The record-setting crowd of over 21,000 against Seattle after the World Cup was over is one of the more memorable moments that I can remember in a lot of years of doing this. That was pretty darn cool.
It's amazing. Such a great town, such a great soccer town.
Allie turns and looks and is absolutely shoved to the ground by Coleman. Wow.
I think that's strategery by Pires.
Yeah, I do too. Well, you're using that word in just a perfect way. Well used, well played, my friend. Here's Farley. Look for something on this play. Little deep there.
Yeah, that ball can't go straight at the goal. It's got to go a little bit away from it and an angle, kind of more toward the flag and away from there. She's got good size, good, you know, got good footwork. She can get out to those balls and cut them out. It's really got to be away from her.
Mewis with that deep ball, and on the run is Pathman. Can she flag it down? Yes, she can. Great hustle by Molly. And an interesting ball that Betos has to come out and get. Pires was right there.
That's a great ball from Pathman. She was on the sideline and hit that ball. It's, you know, 35-yard ball, player right there. A little bit challenging for Betos too, you know. Do you come out, do you wait? You've got the defender there, but she did a great job fielding it.
I love the career of Molly Pathman. Not thought of a whole lot out of Duke in 2014. Thought she'd be a pretty good player, not a great player, and she's been starting and really adding to this Boston attack and team.
Yeah, she's part of their solid back line.
You know it.
The interesting thing here too is last game you had Maddie Evans playing in the back on the outside. Kind of had a switch with Lazo, but he's kind of switched him back again and moved Maddie Evans up top, and now it's really a 3, and she's like working that back line with McCaffrey and Pires.
I like Pathman getting forward. I think she's dangerous and obviously very, very quick down the line.
Yeah, I mean they're a solid team. They've got solid players doing the right job. They're, you know, good movement. They work well together. They're a really good team, Boston.
You know, 3 quality wins for this Breaker bunch. Portland, Kansas City, and Houston. These are 3 playoff type of teams, so this is a dangerous Breaker bunch. You take them for granted and think, oh, their record would indicate a gimme win. You are going to get your head handed to you.
Right, yeah, you don't think you can ever do that, but especially with this group, like you said, they're a quality club, and as you can see, you know, they're bringing it, and they have that little spark of things that they can do up top.
Boston's just going to have to get Mewis involved. She leads the league in shots, number 2 in shots on goal. She certainly has the ability to score. They're going to have to get her involved tonight.
Yeah, the best thing is if she would decide that that's what she wants to do and step up.
Heath.
She might have just mishit that a little bit. Didn't quite mean to hit it so flat off her foot. Got a little bend on it, but sometimes you just hit it just a little bit wrong and it goes the exact opposite way of what you meant.
So Boston missing some big name players to start the season. Heather O'Reilly traded to Kansas City. Leanne Sanderson returning to Arsenal. Courtney Jones retired. Jazz Reeves retired. Kat Whitehill played a game and then retired. Some holes to fill.
They do. They have some quality players that are, you know, on the bench that, as you said, you know, you gave the injury report, and unfortunately they're banged up too.
The Brazilians would love to see the Brazilians. Rafina, Bia, obviously Simon from Australia. Yeah, they're missing some folks. Look at that ball into Taylor. Here's Nair.
Great and quick off her line.
when Ashley Phillips retired from this Boston bunch, Alyssa Nair finally got her chance to start, and she has been absolutely terrific.
She has, really, really solid. It's fun to watch, too, that she's just very commanding, strong. You know, she's not trying to press the game or do too much, but she's doing exactly what she needs to do, and really good, again, with that kind of starting the attack with that pass from the back.
She played every single minute last year, and tip your cap to Jamie Kranich, the #2 keeper, who didn't play a minute last year, but asked to sub in, obviously, when Nair was away for World Cup duty. She was terrific.
Right.
This will be an interesting...
A little bit of jockeying going on in there. Good short ball, trying to not play the keeper, but playing it into the crowd a little bit more.
Boston able to keep that ball in their offensive third, but quickly Breakers give it up. And Heath will play it back to Betos here in the 30th minute. 1-0, the Portland Thorns leading on the goal by Jody Taylor in the 16th minute. Zerboni goes down hard.
Pierce,
and there goes the yellow.
Pierce kind of trying to figure out what exactly she did. I think it might have been the contact that she was called for.
That's her second yellow card of the season. It's been a physical game, no doubt about it. Boston trying to body up the Thorns. And that'll cost Pires there.
You can see Taylor trying to make that run in behind the defense. If that ball been a little bit faster, a little bit harder, it might have gotten through.
Things clogged up in the middle. Speaking of Pires, there she is again, and here comes Boston. Still very dangerous. Evans looked like she was in position to get off a shot.
She was trying to get that kind of side volley going on in there. I tell you though, McCaffrey's dangerous.
Oh man.
You know, we said it last time we played against Boston here. She's the one that had the goal. I mean, she's quick, fast, good on the ball, can get around the corner.
Flag goes up as Sink was trying to find Zerboni. Hey, quick reminder that Alaska Airlines flyers can now enjoy free entertainment to their own device. Learn more at alaskaair.com/beyond. 32nd minute. Gorgeous night here in the Rose City. The Portland Thorns hosting the Boston Breakers here at Providence Park. Here's McCaffrey. Captain Katz got her. Sliding tackle, but a nice run by McCaffrey. And we'll see the Breakers with the corner. Boston's offense starting to pick up a little bit.
They've got it. They've got those players. And I tell you, McCaffrey she's one to watch.
Mewis leads this club in corner kicks, and she'll take it from here. Beautiful job by Menges to not let McCaffrey get a head or boot on it. Good D by Lazo. Here comes the counter from Boston. Smart to play that wide side. No problem for Betos. The first 16, 20 minutes, all Portland in terms of offense. Things have slowed down a little bit. Can you give us a reason why?
You know, they've gotten to that third stage of the period, if you like, kind of break it up into 3 stages. They kind of felt each other out, made sure, you know, like pushed each other, got in the goal. So sometimes there's just a little bit of a lull in that time change, in that period where you're trying to kind of finish out the half.
Allie knocked down in the 18. Play on. As Pokinghorn will flag it down.
I haven't talked very much about Pokinghorn today. I mean, they haven't had to do too much in the back, but you know, it's just nice to see her. She's just good and solid, you know. And for me, as an ex-goalkeeper, I mean, it's so nice to see. There's certain people you get comfortable with kind of immediately, and I think she's a great addition to the Thorns.
The Thorns had some 9 players from their roster play in the World Cup, and Pokinghorn was on the Australian roster, but unable to play a single game because of that hamstring injury. Took her a while to get that thing healed up in order to get into the Thorns lineup, but boy, she's been a terrific addition.
Right. Well, she's well known to people, and she's done well in the previous cup, and she's a great solid player, and just unfortunately had that injury during the wrong time for her national team. But glad that she's healthy back and here, and really solidifying that Thorns defensive line.
3-time member of the Australian national team in terms of World Cup appearances. She's used to big game, big stage situations. Farley's had a solid game, and she and Pathman have been going at it.
There's a little feistiness on this side of the field from
Fine
a few
by
players.
me. I like the idea. Beautiful header from long. Taylor looking for the brace, leaves it for Sink. Heath punched away again by Nair as Sink was breathing down her neck.
Great decision by Nair.
Portland awfully close to putting that second goal on the board. We're in the 36th minute. Thorns leading it 1-0. Oh, unfortunate, and an own goal ties this thing up in the 36th minute. Boston able to apply pressure, and the ball not cleared, and finds the back of the Thorns net.
Let's get that player around the corner again. Boston's dangerous. Get that player around the corner, hits that ball. Defender takes a step and turns toward her goal, which you don't want to do. The cardinal rule of defending, you never want to defend facing your own goal. She goes through, makes that side turn, ball goes right in.
Betos obviously no chance on that one. So it is 1-1, and this crowd got quiet real fast. Portland trying to get that go-ahead goal on the board. Sink!
That would have been goal of the year, that touch. Set herself up, facing the other way, touches it over the defender, and then just like hits that full volley.
The Thorns coming right back in the 37th minute to try to put the go-ahead goal on the board, and Sink denied. Clever juggling footwork, but that shot was blocked. Kaylin Kyle's gonna have to pick herself up after that situation that created the own goal and get herself back in the game. What a ball into Taylor. Taylor with a rocket right at Nair. More physical play, and again, the call will go against Boston. Perez clock and cat. Remember, Julie King unable to play when she picked up 2 yellows in that last game, the loss to Seattle. Perez is going to have to be careful. She's already got 1 yellow. 1-1. Kyle finding Zerboni on this near side. Farley. Sig tried to time her run, but that Boston back line has starting to shore up.
They work well together. They have Boston a little stretched on that, gotten a few passes, a little bit of a combination in. Farley with a great, low, more driven, quick ball in, which is so dangerous for the defenders. Just couldn't get on the end of that one.
Boston outplayed early in this game as Nair was tested early and often. Taylor found the back of the net in the 16th minute, but Boston collected itself nicely, taking advantage of the own goal, and that's where we stand at 1 apiece.
A little pressure from Taylor up top. That's nice to see.
Farley has just been all over the place tonight.
She looks like she's having a great time.
Leads Taylor nicely down this near sideline. Jody, who already has a goal, looking to set somebody up.
Just a little bit of a stall in that move, but again, she's doing the same thing that Heath tries to do, which, you know, most forward or attacking players trying to set that defender up, get him on the wrong foot, get him leaning one direction, then kind of go around him. She just kind of, you know, ran out of a little bit of speed at the end. Maybe her foot kind of dug into the turf.
Mewis.
A little ambitious and perhaps a bit of a long shot from 50 yards out.
The Thorns know they absolutely need the 3 points. That victory at Western New York not only stopped the skid, not only gave Portland their first road victory of the season, but it got them back into the playoff hunt. There's going to be a lot of scoreboard watching, as this is the only game in the league tonight. And you can bet that Houston, Kansas City, and the Flash are all pulling for Boston tonight.
Trying to keep it even tighter. The Thorns, I mean, they've had, you know, plenty of opportunities. They have the run of play. They have the majority of possession. They really do have the chances. They got a little bit unlucky with that ball in, and just all it takes is a slight turn by a defender, and, you know, you end up kind of being a backboard.
That's exactly what it was. Betos, as we said, just was stunned, didn't have a chance.
Yeah, it's too hard. There's not enough time once that ball gets deflected. You need enough time to track it, and she's going one direction, and the ball was too far away from her because it ended up being deflected near post.
Boston's defense just playing better as Heath was dispossessed there. It'll be a Boston throw-in here in the 42nd minute. Here's Pathman again. Mewis knocked down. Call's going to go against Farley. Pace has slowed down. That favors Boston without a doubt. Shepford. Headed out, but Boston will still maintain possession. Wood a little heavy with that touch.
That's good coverage. Megas was there, so that was really nice tracking by the defender. Not a real problem had she gotten the ball and the ball been a little bit closer to the player on the outside. She would have been there.
Farley able to maintain control. She has been a magician this evening, keeping the ball on her foot, finding teammates. Kyle to Heath unmarked on that far sideline. Lazo trying to catch up. Heath. Flag goes up again.
I'm not surprised Heath doesn't look at the goal. She really wants to serve. I mean, that's great and unselfish, but when you can kind of turn around that defender and run toward goal with the ball on the foot, I mean, she can hit either foot. She can really hit a dangerous, driven shot because she has the momentum with her as well. You know she's technical enough that she can have the placement to get around there. So a little surprised by that she's in her unwillingness to shoot.
I think she had a little room too.
Yeah.
Big collision. Williamson coming back and tracking that ball. Heath and Kat playing some combo.
It's a good touch for her to go to ground. Farley to go to ground like that really saves the potential turnover or the transition of that player coming forward.
Absolutely right. Shepford will push. Pathman cuts it back. Just 1 minute of stoppage time. This first half has just flown. 1-1 the score with the stoppage time in play. Jody Taylor putting the Thorns on the board first with that goal in the 16th minute, and then an own goal. Portland's defense letting one in to knot the score at 1-1. That happened in the 36th minute. McCaffrey showing some speed. Double teamed right away on that near sideline, and Allie comes away with it. Sink takes a look behind her shoulder and drops it off. Zerboni, can she catch up to it? Nope. And that'll do it. Halftime commences here at Providence Park. The Portland Thorns and Boston Breakers tied at 1 apiece. Jody Taylor's goal giving the Thorns the lead early, and then an own goal tying this game in the 36th minute. When we come back, we'll start our KeyBank halftime show. The Thorns and Breakers tied at 1 apiece. Stick around.
Don't do it. Your account balance is $38. How much is that?
It's $40.
40. With an overdraft fee of $35? Is that blouse really worth $75? It doesn't even have sleeves.
We have shirts with sleeves.
Don't get charged overdraft fees. Switch to the new KeyBank hassle-free account. It's a checkless account with payment options and no monthly fees.
From an early age, I knew I was destined for greatness. Dad would say,
Eres un has abocado, mijo. Eres especial.
Dad was right. I was ripe for big things. Not typical expected things, but bold, more exciting things. So I carried on until one day, I found my true calling.
Discover new guacamole sandwiches at McDonald's with freshly made pico de gallo and guacamole made Hass avocados.
I made the big time, Dad.
Hey sports fans, do you want to get in shape? Text LA Fitness to 50500 for a complimentary guest pass to your local LA Fitness. That's LA Fitness to 50500. Exercise your options.
It's not far now.
Where is
looks kind of closed.
Make summer fun with a Mini Cooper Countryman for $199 a month and $44.80 due at signing at Mini of Portland.
To him, barbecue is an art, which is great. But we're hungry now. Papa Murphy's Barbecue Pizzas. Choose barbecue chicken, pork sausage, or Angus steak with barbecue sauce on a crispy thin crust. $11 for a large. Fresh made, fresh baked. Papa Murphy's. Love at 425 degrees.
Welcome to the KeyBank Halftime Show. Portland, Boston tied 1 apiece at halftime. You know, there are a lot of new faces with this Portland Thorns team. Kaylin Kyle is one of them. Good friends with countrywoman Christine Sinclair, and Sink has always been in her head saying, you got to get to Portland. You got to get to Portland. You don't know what it's like to play in front of a crowd until you get in front of those Riveters and the rest of the fans. Well, I'll tell you, Kyle has been with a few different NWSL teams, and when she was allocated to Portland for this season, she knew she had hit the mother lode, and playing here, she has been in heaven.
I've always, Portland, like on the streams and seeing the fans and being able to play here on a different team, it's definitely a team that you want to end up on. And Sinky speaks so highly of it, so it was kind of a no-brainer when I got traded here. I was so excited. I was super pumped just to be part of this organization. It's first class, and I mean around the world people know the Portland Thorns, and I think girls dream of playing here. And so I'm extremely lucky getting the opportunity to play here under Paul, and I'm just making the most of this opportunity.
When you were a wee little tyke in Saskatoon, how did you blossom into the soccer player that we know and respect today? I mean, this is a town that certainly shows us a lot of hockey and some soccer, but not a lot of professional women have come out of Saskatoon. You might be the only one?
Yeah, I think I am. I think there's a couple maybe curlers that have been to Olympic Games, but yeah, I'm extremely lucky. I mean, Saskatoon's known for their hockey players and football players. So for me, I was really lucky. I had a good group of guy friends that allowed me to play with them on the weekends. So they were really patient with me when I was younger, and they really taught me like how to be clean on the ball and play simple. So, and then I moved out to Vancouver at a really young age every summer to play with the organization there. So. I mean, I was really lucky to be given the opportunity. Hers and then Carmelina Moscato's because I like Carm's hair, and then and then I had like the full team one. But yeah, I haven't showed her; she's over there. But
and now playing with that club, playing with the internationals up there with Canada, and then coming and playing on this level, your soccer career, I would imagine, is right where you'd like it to be.
I mean, yeah, you look at this roster and it's crazy. I mean, you look at the 11 on the field, but then you look at our bench and it's kind of a dream team. You have players that aren't playing out right now because due to injury, and they're, the best in the world. So it's pretty cool to, get advice from an Alex Morgan, from a Jodie Taylor, from a Christine Sinclair, so even from a Kat Williamson that plays in the back. I mean, it's pretty remarkable to see, and yeah, I'm just so lucky to be here.
Now, your retriever, Frankie, is at home. Your boy, is at home, and you're really hoping we'll wrap up this interview. What do you got planned with Frankie as you continue to get to know this city?
Well, I found a cool little dog beach, so I take him every day. He goes swimming by himself, so yeah, he loves it. But yeah, it's such a cool city for it. I mean, there's so many hiking trails and water everywhere, so he's in heaven. So yeah, we're both really happy to be here. I think my boyfriend's a little jealous that I have Frankie here, and we're loving it so much.
Welcome to Portland, Kaylin and Frankie. Thorns, Boston tied at 1 apiece. The halftime show will continue in just a moment.
You wake up. Back hurts. Again. You need a new mattress, but hate shopping for one. Just go to a Park Lane. Crafted in Oregon. Sold only in Park Lane stores at a true minimum price. They'll match the way you sleep to the Park Lane's best for you. Delivered in 2 trucks. The blue one only delivers fresh, just-made Park Lanes. The green one only hauls old mattresses to recycling. Enjoy every night on a Park Lane. Rest well for years to come.
Tire Factory doesn't make tires. They will make you happy by selling top brands like Goodyear, Nokian, and Hankook. So why the name? Well, 30 years ago, over coffee at a Sherry's, 5 tire store owners reasoned if they combined their purchases, they could save their customers money. Worked then, works now, with over 200 stores in the West. See for yourself. Need tires or service? Trust what you love to Tire Factory, where you'll always have the owner's name on it.
From an early age, I knew I was destined for greatness. Dad would say,
Eres un has abocado, mijo. Eres especial.
Dad was right. I was ripe for big things. Not typical expected things, but bold, more exciting things. So I carried on until one day I found my true calling.
Discover new guacamole sandwiches at McDonald's with freshly made pico de gallo and guacamole made with Hass avocados.
I made the big time, Dad.
Welcome back to the KeyBank halftime show here at Providence Park. The Portland Thorns and Boston Breakers tied at 1 apiece. We are at halftime, as we just mentioned. And shots along with Janine Sparra. All right, let's break this first half down. First 15, 20 minutes. The pace and tempo definitely belonging to the Portland Thorns, and they were rewarded with a goal from Taylor.
They were. They had quite a few chances. They had at least, we talked about 3 chances in the first 7 minutes, which is great. They're pressing the game. Paula wants them to keep after it, and they did. You mentioned a little bit of a lull toward the end of the first half, but that often happens. They were successful. They got in. They got chances. Nair made a couple great saves. They're combining well. They're moving the ball. They have some nice, back heels to each other. So there's some really good things going on, and they'll find the net. They just need to keep trying, and it'll go in.
I remember a couple of games ago you said it's just a matter of time in the second half against Sky Blue, and you were exactly right. Do you get that feeling again for this match?
Definitely, because like you said, even though that it's slightly changed a little bit, they still had the opportunities and they're still going forward. So they have the run of play, they have possession.
All right, let's take a look at some of those first half highlights. We mentioned the fact that Jody Taylor back in the lineup after missing so many games with that leg injury. She is starting and scored early in the 16th minute.
Couple great touches from Jody Taylor. I mean, she has such command of the ball. She gets the ball, turns, take a touch, she knows where the goal is, knows where Nair is. Just a great little bent ball to the far post, exactly where she wanted it.
And then the own goal.
It's a little bit unfortunate. Again, that defender turns. So you've got the player getting around the outside. She hits the ball in. The defender just kind of is in the way, takes the touch, and it goes in.
So that ball off Kat Williamson in the back of the net, and that was the equalizer, and that's where we stand right now. 1 apiece. The Portland Thorns, Boston Breakers, Portland desperately needing this win and the 3 points. Our halftime show will continue in just a second from Providence Park here in Portland.
Don't do it! Your account balance is $38. How much is that?
It's $40.
40. With an overdraft fee of 35 bucks? Is that blouse really worth $75? It doesn't even have sleeves.
We have shirts with sleeves.
Don't get charged overdraft fees. Switch to the new KeyBank hassle-free account. Checklist account with payment options and no monthly fees.
From an early age, I knew I was destined for greatness. Dad would say,
Eres un has abocado, mijo. Eres especial.
Right, I was ripe for big things. Not typical expected things, but bold, more exciting things. So I carried on until one day I found my true calling.
Discover new guacamole sandwiches at McDonald's with freshly made pico de gallo and guacamole made with Hass avocados.
I made the big time, Dad.
Miles with numbers. Rapino shoots it, and it's in!
Up to Evans. Tee it up. Shot on target!
What a goal! Thorns looking to cross. Let's go! It's off the pass!
right at the keeper, and then Christie puts it away.
If you have fun, you will win, and you'll make me very, very happy.
Just moments away from the second half kickoff between visiting Boston and the Portland Thorns. We're at Providence Park, a beautiful night here in the Rose City. The team's tied 1-1 at the half. Here in downtown Portland, and shots along with Janine Sparra, and I'm wondering what Coach Riley had to say to the troops at halftime. Offensively, a lot of opportunities for this Portland bunch.
Yeah, I think, you know, he's calm and methodical. So, you know, you talked before, you asked before about what do you do in this situation? Do you play it up? Do you talk about the points? And, you know, he said, no, you keep with the game plan. You've done something all year long in the same way, and it is successful. They are getting chances. They are, you know, working together. They are combining. They're playing well. They have possession. All those things are really good. So it's not like, you know, it's not the end of the world. It's just that they need to continue to do what they're doing, but, you know, maybe put the pedal down just a little more and make sure that you give 45 full minutes. Make sure that you finish this game out and you don't ever stop or think that you can let up, because things change really fast,
you
right?
bet.
Yeah.
So obviously the club's switching directions, and Mana Shim will start the second half for the Portland Thorns. Remember, Paul Riley made it very clear that he was going to play Jody Taylor 45 to 60 minutes. This, her first match after the World Cup. That knee has been giving her fits before, during, and after the World Cup. She, of course, playing for her beloved Canada. So she played a quality 45 minutes with that goal. She will now sit, will Jody Taylor, and Mana Shim will take things over.
Yeah, true to his word. Like I said, he's very methodical. He, you know, has it planned out. He's monitoring your minutes, making sure he's taking care of the player, and a great player to come in for in Mana Shim.
And the second half is underway. The Portland Thorns and Boston Breakers, presented by West Hills Vision Care. Beautiful evening here in Portland, mid-70s, light breeze, and another terrific crowd on hand as well. You'd expect nothing less.
You know, I was trying to remember who McCaffrey reminds me of, and I finally figured it out. Bachmann from Switzerland.
Ah, that's high praise.
Yeah, she's, you know, talented, dynamic player, and I think McCaffrey's got a bit of that those qualities in her. She's definitely one to watch.
Sink turns the quarter, leaves it for Polkinghorn, and here's Farley. The counter for Boston, heading the other way. McCaffrey. And there's Cat knocking it off of McCaffrey. McCaffrey out of Boston College. 5th overall pick by Chicago, and then traded to Boston for Huerta and Colaprico.
I thought she would have got a little bit out of that one, but I think she's getting tired. I noticed in the second half that McCaffrey, you know, she's making a lot of runs. She was trying to press, basically kind of keep the ball in that area, and she just couldn't quite defensively do what she wanted to do, and I think she's starting to show a little bit of her fatigue.
McCaffrey and Mewis played together for BC. And I hear you about the fatigue. McCaffrey just goes like heck. That's a solid rookie. Leads this club in assists, does McCaffrey. Plays a bunch of minutes.
I look forward to seeing her in the next couple of years.
I
Just
agree.
really watching her grow.
With just a dangerous sequence right there. Mewis and Evans playing well together. and creating an opportunity for Boston.
Yeah, they were able to find those seams a little bit between the players, and but you got a good chance of someone coming back, and you see how those players work well together. Those back three are really, they have each other's backs, and they're supporting well and recovering well.
Polkinghorne did a really nice job of making sure that Mewis wasn't able to put the go-ahead goal in the back of the net, but here's the corner. Zerboni takes it right away from Scheffer, but then gives it up herself.
Yeah, she just mishit that little one. I think she clipped it a little bit incorrectly, or a little off the turf with her foot. So otherwise, she had Mona Shim on the out, pretty isolated up top.
Nice battle there between Polkinghorne and McCaffrey. Claire doing a nice job, and here comes Portland and Heath. Some offsides calls going against Portland in that first half. They're going to have to clean that up. Farley, shot blocked. She'll get it right back. Long. What a ball. Zerboni, there it is! In the 49th minute, what an assist, and what a ball from Long to Zerboni.
That's an unbelievable ball from Long. She was able to cut in. They kind of drew the players out to the outside. She made the right touch to the inside. Looks across. You can see Zerboni holding her run, which allowed her to stay on side, and then just that absolutely beautiful, perfect ball from Allie Long to her. Such a great goal. Right in the right place. Good first touch by Zerboni. Kept it for herself and just finished it without Nair having a chance.
Long was asked to service her teammates, to find the open player, and Long's fourth assist and Zerboni's first goal gives Portland the 2-1 lead.
Which is pretty interesting, because in the starting lineup, when Paul was talking about it, and you're looking at McCall Zerboni a little bit higher up the field on the outside where she doesn't normally play, and it's great. I mean, they've really gotten something out of it, and only to spring her, and she's smart enough. Again, a lot of players would have been offsides, but holding her run and gets her in.
Look at Heath.
That's what we were looking for in the first half. That's what I was wanting to see her do.
You know, it's interesting, you mentioned the Thorns avoiding the offside on that play, and Evans had her hand up trying to coax the offside call on that goal scored by Zerboni. Nothing doing.
To be honest, it might have been a little bit close. You can't tell from this angle, but it looks like, I know McCall didn't go forward. I know she held her run. So I think, I think it was, a good, solid, honest goal.
So for the second straight game, the Thorns put at least 2 goals on the board, and that's after being shut out for 3 straight. That is a good sign.
Yeah, we've been looking for that. We keep talking about that spark and that thing that's going to kind of put it in the back of the net, and they have had an attack. They just haven't had those finishes. So there's kind of shooting and finishing. So it's nice to see that they're finally, getting the end kind of polished piece on it to put it in the back of the net.
And Long's assist now puts her in first place as far as career assists are concerned with 10, breaking the tie with Morgan. Look at this ball to Sinclair. Sliding tackle, and nicely done by Rachel Wood.
Wood has had a really solid game. She didn't play in that last game with them, but with a little bit of the lineup shift and him pushing the player, a little bit higher and putting her in the outside. She's been really good for Boston in the back today.
Well, no Julie King because of those 2 yellows, and Wood and Maddie Evans have been asked to play some pretty staunch defense. They've been good. Jody Taylor with her first ever goal in a Thorns uniform, and the same for McCall Zerboni. How about that?
So far it's a good evening.
Yes, been a long, long way to go.
Yeah, but it's nice. I mean, they're playing really well, moving the ball well. Like we said, good possession. It is exciting. They've got some good talented that you're able to see and come out, and then those players combining together is just some really nice soccer.
flick header that time by Evans, but finds the feed of Menges. And here comes Long. She's got a little room. Plays it to Sink. What a ball! Zerboni with the brace!
Nothing like coming out of nowhere and being able to hit the ball with Sinclair coming down the sideline, getting the ball across. It just gets deflected just a little bit, I think, by Shim, which allowed to hold the ball up, and Zerboni was in the right place in order to get on the end of it.
It all started with Long's beautiful ball to Sinclair on this near sideline, and Sink sized up the opportunity, and Zerboni mopped up.
See, Sink just serves in a really good, dangerous ball across, gets deflected by Nair, and Zerboni was in the right place to finish it.
So, in game number 1 here in Portland, it was Long with the brace. Tonight, it's Zerboni. Here comes Long again. Portland looking to put this thing away.
Good. Attack, attack, attack. Don't stop. That's one of the things. Again, that's what Paul Riley said. You need to keep going no matter what the situation is. You just got to keep going and doing what you're supposed to be doing. And this is it. You want to go, you don't want to chase and be behind the game. You want to be in front of it. And now they've got Boston a little bit like back on their heels. You know, they've gotten 2 in really quickly, so it's time, just keep going at them.
Sink with the beautiful touch, and there it is! Another goal for the Portland Thorns! Mana Shim with the perfect finish!
What a great, composed finish on that ball from her.
What a blitzkrieg to start this second half. And Sinclair has been setting up her teammates beautifully with Long spearheading the attack.
The Thorns, again, this is just keep going. Keep the pedal down. Just finish out the rest of the game with this speed and intensity. And then you make the gap too big to overcome. You don't let them back to the game. And poor Alyssa Nair is in the back trying to figure out what is going on with her team.
So Mana Shim scores her first goal, collects her first points since May 9th. And she is back in business. A huge goal for her confidence and for this club that is looking for scoring depth.
You are, and that's the attitude that you need to see. So in the first half, I talked about attacking the goal and looking to the goal first. And you know, I like to say I'm right sometimes. So, you know, these players are turning and going forward. It's not that they're turning and immediately laying off, but Allie takes the ball and goes forward and attacks the defense, creates the seams, kind of spreads the defense out, which springs Mana on the outside to have the time to receive, take a touch, look at the goal with a completely composed finish.
4-1 Thorns. It was 1-1 at half. 3 goals in about a 5-minute span for the Portland Thorns. Unbelievable. Zerboni with a couple of them for a brace, and Mana Shim just moments ago with the latest tally.
I don't know if they meant to save up all their goals for tonight over the last couple of games, but holy cow, that's a good, exciting couple of minutes.
Betos, as that ball was struck nicely, she had to go to her knees for that one.
Good and solid from Betos on the front dive.
The new guacamole burger or chicken sandwich at McDonald's, made with Haas avocado, served with freshly made pico de gallo and a slice of lime. Try it today, paired with your choice of sizzling 100% beef or tender, delicious chicken at participating McDonald's.
Still nice to see, you know, a couple goals. Zerboni's still willing to defend.
Heck yeah.
A little bit of deflection off a defender on that one.
Boston with some action here in the 57th minute. Corner kick. Betos valiantly trying to save that thing from going out of bounds, knowing that the corner kick would wait. If she wasn't able to save it, good effort.
So she had it covered. She had a good couple of steps on it and her hand to the near post.
Sinclair going high to knock that ball out of trouble.
It's always nice when you can have Sinclair in your box trying to help you out, right? She is so good in the air.
You know, she stands 5'9" too, and she still has some hops.
A little 3v3 in the back there.
Overlap.
Thorns
There's Allie.
Got the numbers forward.
Allie tees off against Nair, who puts her mitts up for the save.
Yeah, she cut down the angle really well on that. Allie Long didn't really have a chance, and Alyssa Nair's got some good height on her, and played the angle, so that was going to be a really tough one for Allie to put in.
Allie has played her role very, very well tonight in terms of running the offense along with Sinclair, getting some folks involved.
She has. You know, the Portland Thorns have looked really tight, meaning that they're doing their jobs and they're playing really well together. So they're looking like that kind of well-oiled machine with a little bit of creativity thrown in there that you want to see in a soccer game. You want to see the excitement, you want to see the ball work and all that, but they're doing all the kind of, as I say, meat and potatoes kind of things that you have to do to make it a really solid effort on both sides of the ball.
This Boston group has not given up 4 goals since they did so in that season opening loss at Portland, which seems like forever ago. Portland hasn't scored 4 goals since then. It's been a strange game.
A little bit. It's just they found their rhythm.
Yep.
The Portland Thorns have definitely, you know, got their players that are able to connect together.
Shim trying to thread the needle to Tobin Heath, who, as you would expect, never quit on that ball, as Tom Durkin is going to go to his bench for the first time and bring in Kem Ezarike. So Perez will go out. She's had a good physical match, has Suzanne. And here is the Canadian, Ezarike. Ezarike has missed some games while she played for Canada in the Pan Am Games. They're glad to have her back. Heath calmly keeping that ball in play and finds the foot of Farley. You saw the speed just moments ago of Menges, one of the quickest players in the league, no doubt about it.
Yeah, which is in that speed, that style, that solid ability to defend has really done well. The Thorns have done a great job. And we're talking about a 4-1 game, but you know, you got to talk a little bit about the defenders and just what a great job they've been doing too tonight.
Heath trying to get by Lazo. Give Lauren some credit, hanging tough with Heath, who gets up smiling. You know, Menges comes out of Georgetown, 3rd round pick when she hit the pro ranks. And she has been rock solid for the Thorns since day one.
Can't say how much I appreciate having this league and seeing these players still playing before they even hit their prime. They come out of college, we have a great system where these players just develop and grow and do so well in the collegiate level, and then now they have a professional league to play on. There's semi-pro, pro, where you can really see them.
Sliding tackle by Wood as she tries to keep Sinclair from turning the corner. Portland wants more. Attendance just announced. Gee whiz, 15,624. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable unless you live in Portland,
yep.
In which case it's believable.
The highest attendance of any women's professional team in the world. This club averages over 14,000, and they got more than that tonight. And my goodness.
Night.
Yep, and you know, Janine, 21,000 show up for that game against Seattle, and it was a flat performance by the Thorns. They just plain, flat out looked lousy and got beat. This is a real treat for the 15,000 plus. The Thorns that they've been waiting to see since that Boston game months ago.
Dude, the fans believe in them. They know what they can do. And sometimes, you know, those seasons, there's tough seasons. There's times you go through that.
Yep.
And with everything with everything that happened, injuries, people being away, and a chunk of your team being away, you know, but the fans still believe.
Sink listening to you, squaring up and firing off a shot that was certainly wide left. 4-1, the Thorns, with a 5-minute spurt in this second half, with 3 goals. Unbelievable 5-minute offensive blitzkrieg by the Thorns. And they want more. So Houston, Kansas City, and Flash fans, maybe some players and coaches watching this game and knowing that Portland will creep ever closer to that 4th and final playoff spot if this score holds, with Chicago waiting in the weeds for a big game here on Sunday.
Yeah, the nice thing, you know, you're still, things all matter, the games all matter, and sometimes there's a tendency if you're a little bit out of it to kind of have that lull, to have that time like, okay, our season's over and we're done, but you have to play it. But it's really nice that they're making that push and they're still right in that hunt.
As Enrique knocks it off of Menges.
Menges, I think, said,
Jody Taylor's return to the Portland Thorns lineup was exactly what Thorn fans and the coaching staff were hoping for. She scores in the 16th minute, an own goal as the ball bounced off of Kat Williamson and past Betos, tied this thing, and we were 1 apiece at half. And then the Thorns have exploded here in the second half to lead it 4-1. Missed opportunity there for the Breakers. And you just kind of saw Wood holding her head. She's 6 foot, can get up in the air, and just mistimed the header. Boy, that goal must have felt good to Monashim. Started the season so hot, no points, no goals since May 9th, and she finds the back of the net.
You know, you can't really underestimate like how hard that is for her to do too. Sometimes it's almost harder to have more space, and she had it on the out, but really like took the time.
Schepfer, golden opportunity in the 18. Confidence booster for sure, for this whole club, really. How about Zerboni coming into this game with no goals? She picks up the brace thanks to some terrific passing to set her up.
Should be quite a celebration for her if this all continues the way it's going.
Love the ball here to Heath. Cuts it back nicely. There it is for Allie Long! And goal number 5 is on the board!
What an unbelievable showing by the Thorns.
Man!
They just continue to keep doing what they're doing, you know, what they're good at. They've had the ball work. They find her. She hits a nice left-footed shot to the corner. I mean, again, picks out her space, hits it well.
What a ball.
Nice service from Tobin. Couldn't quite clear it from the defender, and she just finishes it with her left.
The poor clearance by Boston cost him there as Allie Long picks up her team-leading 7th goal.
We just have too many Thorns players in their box with too much space around them, so someone's not picking up Allie or watching her. Defender does all she can do to get that ball and keep it out of the net, but you've got to have some more help on that.
Sink weighing her options, will come back to Farley. Farley pushing it. Allie double teamed. Here's Shim. Far post for Sink. Batted away.
It's a great ball by Shim to Sink on the outside. She hits, and she hits that ball really well. And there makes a great save on it.
Boston giving up more goals than they've had all season. Portland scoring more goals than they have all season. And if you're going to get hot on offense after struggling much of this season to score, this is the time to do it down the stretch. Sink so good on the ball. 5-1 Thorns here in the 69th minute. It was 1-1. One apiece, yes, at half. Heath. Oh, she had an idea on that far post.
She's looking now.
Yep. Folks, Alaska Airlines offers food and beverages from iconic Northwest brands. Learn more at alaskaair.com/beyond. As Enrique looking to turn. Mewis with the left foot. Ooh, Michelle.
I think there might have been a little bit of movement on that ball, a little bit of a kind of breaking ball side to side that was a little hard to hold on to, but great concentration. She just got the second one.
Well struck by Mewis, again, who leads this club with the 5 goals. Ball ricochets right back to Farley. And here's Heath again on this near sideline. Loving that wing position. And if you're Lazo, you're thinking, gee whiz, somebody come and help me. There it is. The double team as Barzak joins in. You're a 2015 Discovery signee, Lauren Lazo, and you're asked to mark Tobin Heath, one of the top players on the United States World Cup Championship team. Tall order.
You know, it might be a long night for you at work.
A little help is appreciated on occasion. So we're in the 71st minute. Portland with the commanding 4-1 lead. And you can't help to think about the Chicago Red Stars coming into town in second place, and what a game that's going to be. Another must-win situation for the Portland Thorns.
Yeah, it's a nice statement game for them. You know, anytime you can kind of tell that next team coming in that, look, this is what we do at home and this is what you're going to have to face in front of 15,000 people, anything helps. And they're, like we said, we keep saying they need the points. They need this game to be good. They need the next game to be good. They need this in the next 5 games to be really strong and solid. So we'll take that home court advantage, as they say.
We'll see. I mean, obviously Chicago is absolutely loaded. This is one of the most enjoyable teams to watch in the entire league. You know, anytime you put CP, you put press on the pitch, you know, and she has just wreaked havoc here.
Yeah, quality player. I mean, it's fun. It's what it should be. I think soccer should be a battle. It should be a challenge each time.
Oh,
it should matter. So I think they're going to look forward to it. It's nice. The Thorns for themselves too will have the confidence to be able to, like, you know, bring the second place team in and give them a great game.
Betos, no sweat there, as Kendall Johnson takes off her warm-up penny, and she'll be next on the pitch for the Portland Thorns, the hometown favorite. Grew up here, played at Lincoln High School, University of Portland. You get the idea. She'll be on the pitch, as Durkin will also send in a couple of subs. Menges sending it right back to Betos.
Sinclair got a little pressed on that one, kind of forced her back, and then went all the way back to Zerboni, trying to make that first time clear, which is good. Ball's off the field, goes off the Boston player head, so still Thorns possess.
Tobin Heath getting a huge ovation as she'll take a seat. Terrific match for the national team player, and Kendall Johnson will check in. Morgan Marlborough and Stephanie Verdoya will get their first action of the match as well. So Evans is out. Good hustle match by Evans. And McCaffrey will take a seat. I thought she was very solid tonight. Farley as composed as she's been all season. Crowd appreciates that. Long will go down, easy call to make. Now you just want to make sure everybody gets through this match, nobody getting hurt.
As always, you know, especially in the waning moments of the game, the last, 15 to 20 minutes, you really want to make sure that everybody's safe and solid.
Shim so close to finding the feet of a streaking Sinclair, but the Boston defense disrupted that, and Mewis would love to get the counter going. Pathman, beautiful ball. Not able to be controlled though by Verdoya. Unfortunate there. Through ball. Betos off the line to deny, and on the follow, Verdoya just off the side netting. Oh, that was close.
That's the same kind of saves that Michelle Betos made in that game against Western New York in the last game. You know, she had early in the game, she had 2 or 3 1v1 saves. One was still onsides, 2 were called offsides, but she still made the save, so she's still ready and still there and does a great job in those situations.
Verdoya coming off the bench and making her presence felt immediately. Boy, Michelle just got big with that almost basketball stance with her arms out and able to knock it down. Here's Allie.
I think you might see Betos start to yell at her team a little bit. There's not as much pressure on the ball.
I agree.
You've seen too many, the forwards, you know, when you have Pathman going through the outside with the players just kind of guiding her forward, staying on the sides of her instead of stopping her forward progress, you know. And just like in the last play here, players going forward, nobody's getting in front of them and stopping. They're just like, oh, okay, you know, you just go kind of through our defense, slots the ball through. I mean, those are the things that you don't want to happen. It shouldn't be a 5-2, 5-3, 5-4 game. It should be, you know, at this point at least 5-1. That's it.
You lock it down.
No change on the one goal that they gave up.
I mean, that was an unfortunate own goal, and Kat will tell you that. She just felt horrible about it.
That was a good solid effort by Nair to try to get to that ball.
Yeah, it was.
A little bit of a deflection with the touch, could have given him a corner, but she went all the way out past the 6, diving, try to save her team a corner.
Just an incredible 5-minute period in the second half that turned a 1-1 tie at half into a 4-1 Portland lead. And then you add on a Allie Long goal in the 66th minute, and here we are at 5-1. Boy, Kaylin Kyle had a notion here. Sink trying to get positioned against Nair, and it looks like Kyle is down along with Coleman.
A little bit of a full box on that one with players just going up and kind of just running into each other a little bit head on head there.
You just have to be careful, and obviously the concussion protocol will be followed. That was a collision between Coleman and Kyle. I think it was Coleman that was in on that.
Yeah, I believe it was. She looks okay. She got upright. She's going to stay in the game, but I think Kyle off for a little bit. But they were called immediately. Play was stopped. People came out. They are taking care of the players, which is great to see. It's also great to show young players too. These players that are watching the game, the coaches that are watching these games, really, need to understand how important it is to every time that there's a head injury, there's some kind of collision. You need to make sure that that player is okay, because they're way more important than any game.
Heck yeah, you bet. And really glad to see Kyle and Schepfer. So obviously those two are the ones that collided. So Boston and their road woes, Janine, continue. Winless away from home. And unless an absolute miracle happens here in the 79th minute, they'll know that down the stretch they have but one home game left and the rest on the road. That's just a tough way for this Breaker bunch to finish.
It is, but they're a club with a lot of history. They've been along for a long time. They had a team since the WUSA, and before that they have a club underneath them. They have things going on in Boston, so it's just there are those times that you deal with that, you retool, you figure out what you need to make happen, and but this team's not going anywhere.
Get healthy.
They're going to stick around and continue to be a great program.
The Breakers are the longest running professional women's soccer team in United States history, to your point. Been around since 2000.
I remember back in 2000, I was...
Oh, you old bag.
100 years old back then.
I just love the fact that you brought up the tradition.
It's great. I mean, it's great for the city, for the sport. I mean, what a commitment they've made to women's soccer to really support this team for so long. I just completely give them a shout out for that.
They had 4,300 in their last match, a 2-1 loss against Seattle. That was a record for them, I believe. That's an impressive crowd at Soldiers Field. But on the road, it is a different story. And this is the most goals that Boston, I believe, has given up all season long.
Well, while we're a very friendly city, we're not very nice to other teams. So Portland's a hard place to play.
Boston still attacking. Pathman had a right idea. Mewis got ahead on it. But not even close here in the 81st minute.
Nice to see her still getting up the field, though, making those, really great, dangerous crosses from the outside back.
Pathman's been good. We really thought we would see Simon at some point nursing that right hamstring. Just not able to go, did not play against Seattle. Obviously, they've got to really be careful with that kind of an injury. But attacking players out of this Boston lineup.
Those calls are hard. I mean, there could have been a plan in place, just like Paul was going to take out, his player at the 45th, 60th minute. You think, okay, I'm going to put Simon in at this point. At this point of the game, and at that point of the game, the score is, different than what you thought it was going to be, and so there's not a real good, risk, reward kind of scenario in there. So it makes sense to kind of hold her out and protect her a little bit.
Bia, Rafina, Simon, all the kind of players that can wreak havoc in the midfield and in that finishing 18 box, and none of those players have been able to go yet. Jody Taylor returning to the fold. I mean, she came into today's match having played 2 games, a total of 105 minutes. That's it with the one start with that knee injury. And how about her finally healed, if you will, and able to get into the starters lineup and scores that goal in the 16th minute to get this whole thing started.
And a beautiful goal, too.
Yep.
Absolutely beautiful goal. So I have a feeling you're a little bit excited about Taylor and seeing her out there and what she can do.
Well, I mean, you just give a little relief to Sinclair. You don't have to have Sink as that lone striker, that lone forward.
A lot of pressure, a little pressure off Allie Long as well.
Sure.
Who's, such a great attacking player.
And look at how, things just kind of opened up.
No, I agree. I was excited to see her play, and not only you get to see her play, but you get to see her play with those players around her. That's the super exciting part for me.
Throw in Thorns. McCall Zerboni with the brace. 2 quick goals in the second half. And then it was Mana Shim's turn. And then Allie Long's turn. Nifty ball from Kyle to Kendall Johnson.
Great ball from Kendall Johnson.
What a ball into Shim, streaking down the gut. Here's Zerboni.
Keep going.
Zerboni wants the hat trick. Sink got one against Boston last year. Zerboni, an unlikely scorer in terms of a hat trick.
She's got a taste for it now. Yeah. Now there's no stopping her.
Allie just lost possession. It has been a strong second half for Mana Shim.
Yeah, she's coming well. She's been able to, keep the pressure up, keep the power up on the front line a little bit. So, obviously Jody Taylor is a great player, but you still get to see, just how good Mana Shim is and what she can add, and then it's not, a complete fall off or anything. Like she's there in the mix with these players.
So Sinclair off, Van Hallebeck in, and Sinky, as you would expect. Oh, does Portland love her? Getting a huge ovation. Great game for Christine Sinclair. She has been on a roll. Remember, July is her month.
So you kind of have to see, it looks like Van Hallebeck's going in the back, maybe making it 4 in the back, pushing someone else up a little bit higher.
You can see why a player like Mewis, McCaffrey now on the bench, attracts an awful lot of attention.
Those are, 2 great players. Mewis grew up in the U.S. youth system.
Yep.
She's played for youth national teams. She's a little senior team. She's, she's just a quality player, and you've got that young McCaffrey kind of energy, excitement. I mean, they have the pieces, and there's just great players out there.
Boston College, mighty proud of those graduates.
Another good, solid program. Boston College has been doing so well.
This has been the kind of performance that the Portland Thorns have been waiting for a long time. That string of games where they just struggled, flat out struggled to score. And then going to Western New York on the heels of that 3-0 loss up in Seattle. And a game where the Thorns knew you lose this one on the road, and a team, the Thorns, winless on the road at that point. You lose this one, and your season is over. Uh-oh. Handball is going to go against the Portland Thorns. A spot kick for the Boston Breakers here in the 87th minute.
A little bit, same things like that own goal, it's just a little bit lucky in the mix. Ball kind of bouncing around, just gets hit. It's like Mangus turns and it just hits off her hand. So just get called for a handball. I won't say that it's a cheap call or anything, that I would argue the call. I'm not going to say that, but let's just say unlucky.
Mewis drills it. 6th goal of the year here in the 88th minute. So make that score 5-2. And credit the Breakers for still hanging tough, but this score still very much favoring the Portland Thorns. So Boston's goals on a PK in this second half and an own goal. The ball that went off Cat in the first half. Nothing run of play for the Boston Breakers.
Farley's working so hard. She's still controlling the ball really well and just getting knocked around a bit.
Farley with her 14th start. So here in the 89th minute, with the Thorns leading at 5-2, another corner kick for Allie Long. Pokinghorn tracks it from Menges. Zerboni with the brace to her credit, her first 2 goals of the season. Little cue ball shot here. Mana settles. Kendall looking to turn and find a little space.
Thought maybe Zerboni was gonna get in there and turn that corner, dribble straight into goal and just get that hat trick.
Johnson again battling in that corner. Zerboni, of course, coming from Western New York. She had a fine offensive season last year with the 3 goals and 2 assists. So, you know, when given the opportunity, she can find the back of the net. And we've seen 2 from her tonight.
Nice to see her be able to play in a little bit different position and kind of show the Thorns fans, show everybody kind of more of what she can do, because we know she solidifies that defensive or that holding mid often in the game, but this is a great opportunity for her. And you know, anybody watching her kind of say, you know, look, she can do this, and she's great at this, and she's also great at this, you know, on the other side.
Full package, you bet.
Yeah, that's awesome.
1 minute of stoppage time. This game is going to go in Portland's favor, thanks to an offensive, just a surge in that second half. Tied 1 apiece at halftime, and then bam.
Bam, bam.
A lot of bams.
Yeah.
4 goals by the Thorns. 2 from Zerboni, 1 from Long, 1 from Shim. And give Mewis that PK goal moments ago, and that's where we stand 5-2.
Boston's not stopping either. They just, you know, put everybody up in the box. They're still pressing the last couple seconds of the game.
Pathman, one of those players, she's had a fine match, and Michelle Betos will take her time. Those 4 second half goals going right into the teeth of the riveter section. Oh man. We're going to be talking about that for a while. Best offensive showing for the Portland Thorns all season.
Yeah, this is absolutely great. What a great game. Good to see some of those great plays that you saw early on in the game kind of, you know, get finished, not just, you know, shots, but finished.
And that'll do it. The crowd will tell the story. Over 15,000 here at Providence Park celebrating the Portland Thorns' victory over the Boston Breakers. 5-2, 3 critical points for the Thorns.
Exactly what they needed. You know, it puts them in that place. They're still in the hunt, one point out of that 4th slot. So you just keep doing what you're doing, you know. If you believe and you follow the plan, and it's a good solid plan, that's what happens. It keeps you on the right track for that success of what you want to get out of your season.
So at this moment, with the 3 points, the Thorns now have 19, tied with FC Kansas City, and as Janine said, just one back of Houston for that 4th and final playoff spot. Down the stretch they come. Great to see Jody Taylor back into the lineup. And she delivers the goods with that first half goal that just seemed to get everybody going and the offense all loosened up. And then that second half explosion by the Thorns. McCall Zerboni leading that explosion with the brace. 2 goals in that second half, and I mean back-to-back dandies. That gave Portland the lead for good. McCall, can you hear us down there?
I'm with you.
Oh, I'm with you, young lady. All right, a brace for you. Obviously, the second half explosion from your club really told the tale. Walk us through what you talked about at halftime and how you made things happen in that second half.
Yeah, I mean, I think from the first whistle, we were doing all the right things as a team. We were creating a lot of chances. We got a little bit unlucky with an own goal in the first half, but really we were creating so many chances and being dominant the whole time. It was a great team effort.
McCall, you've done such a great job and so solid in kind of that holding mid position, solidifying your midfield. You were asked to play a little bit higher up and on the outside, which I haven't seen you do. What were your thoughts going into the game, and what does that bring to your game, or what else do you have that we don't know about?
Well, credit to my team and credit to my coaches for believing in me to do a different job today. And, I'm fortunate that I had great support around me to make me look good. And really, it was a great effort by the team. And we've been training hard and doing all the right things. And we just happened to put a lot of balls in the back of the net today. And that spoke for the win.
McCall, 3 huge points. Obviously, points you desperately need to set up a heck of a match on Sunday. This one's got to feel good.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a position right now where winning's what we got to do. So anytime we get the job done, it feels really good.
Thank you, McCall, so much for joining us, and congratulations on a huge victory.
Thank you. Well done.
McCall Zerboni with the brace, and the Portland Thorns with the 5-2 victory. Can't wait to show you some of the highlights because they were up plenty. As the Thorns win this one, and here comes Jody Taylor back in action and healthy.
Nice little touch to the outside. Again, that nice textured ball around the keeper to the back post.
And here was the own goal.
Just beating that player around the corner. Again, you can't face your own goal or even turn toward your goal.
But Zerboni got things going in the second half, didn't she?
She did, and that's such a beautiful ball by Allie Long. And again, that composure from Zerboni to finish is just unbelievable.
The brace from McCall Zerboni and the celebration right there. We're just getting started.
With Sinclair's great ball in there, just kind of deflects it a little bit. And again, Zerboni's in the right place.
Yep.
Smart player, knows the game, knows where to be. She's right there, finish.
So that really put the score in Portland's favor. And again, we're just getting started.
Nice little, kind of turns her hips a little bit out, opens up again, that same type of ball that is textured, bent, goes around the keeper, finds Nair right where she's standing. The ball bends. It's so far away she can't get to it.
Allie Long with the game's final goal for Portland anyway.
Nice just touch, left footer, finish. I mean, you don't even have to say very much. You see how good their technique is. What a great shot. She just cleans it, hits it.
An absolutely thrilling win for the Portland Thorn fans. And despite the handball called there and the ensuing PK from Mewis, it was an absolute Thorn-dominated victory, 5-2. Our next Thorns home match is Sunday, August 9th, Portland hosting the Chicago Red Stars. It's a 7 p.m. start here at Providence Park and nationally televised on Fox Sports 1. You can get your ticket at thornsfc.com. Just a huge victory, 3 points for the Portland Thorns. And that means that the Thorns are just 1 point away now from that 4th and final playoff spot. For Janine Sparra and our entire broadcast crew, I'm Ann Schott saying so long from Providence Park. And thanks so much for joining us tonight. Thorns win it 5-2.